Went up there and watched the circus.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I came out of there saying, I don't want any part of that. You know. And we had one more ticket. Hey, I got it. I had to put on the suit. This is the actual ticket to go up to the Senate side. Got to wear the suit. And we said, well, since we have it, let's just go so we can say we saw what it looked like at the Senate side. And it was boring. And a guy sitting up there at the desk, you know, in the front there, they looked half asleep. I could swear one guy was playing a Game Boy. You know, the pages there, kind of sitting on the steps. And then in would walk Senator John McCain. Someone walked right in and he gave a speech for C-SPAN. Lieberman gave a speech, a few others. And all of a sudden this feeling started coming over me. And the thought entered my head. There needs to be a voice in here. I said, no, there doesn't. There needs to be me in Key West. No? But the feeling came over, Richard, you're going there. And as we left that chamber, walking down the hall, I could still see it in my mind's eye. I leaned over to my wife. I said, sweetheart, I'm going to run for United States Senate. And my wife said, okay. And it wasn't a high five moment. Yeah. It was one of resolve. Because we knew we were being called to a fight. Not to go play politician, as we talked about it, not to be part of some fancy committee, not to go make friends. I'm a nice guy, I get along well. But we were feeling called to a fight. So we came home and met Walt. Met lots of different people, but I think it's a blessing that Walt and I have a relationship. And wound up signing to run as your candidate for the United States Senate. And here we are today. And I'm running for United States Senate because I'm concerned and was concerned about the freedoms and liberties for my children and grandchildren. I wanted my children and my unborn grandchildren to grow up in the country that I was privileged to grow up into. Amen. And have the opportunities that I had. And I was very afraid that they would lose that opportunity. And I'm here before you this evening to tell you that my fears have come to pass as of a week ago last Sunday with the passage of that bill. For we are no longer a free people. And we will talk about how much it costs. We can't afford it. It does talk about, I've read it, by the way, I've read it. It does talk about rationing. It's in there. It talks about setting doctors' pay. A year and a half ago, I had two plumbers that make more than what family physicians will make based on the pay in there. You think our care is going to go up or go down?
Way down.
It talks about care for illegals. It's all in there. But what has me all fired up, and if whether you vote for me or not, I hope you'll hear this and at least will pique your interest enough that you will investigate it yourself. Because what it does talk about in there is that we no longer are able to make a decision on the care that we get between ourselves and our physician. That relationship no longer exists. It's the law of the land. It's the law of this once free land. That an economic board or a bureaucratic board will determine what your economic value is to our society. That's the law. That's the law of the land. That's who we are now as a people. So that's kind of why I went off on my little tirade today. We've been talking about killing this, killing that. We're not going to kill everybody if they don't meet up to our standards. It's the law of the land. There's not a man or woman in here this evening that's a free man or woman. There's not a man or woman that can argue that fact with me. But it's fact. It's the law of the land. I found myself in that week going through kind of the stages of grieving. You know, past that Sunday, it's like, this can't be true. This isn't real. Certainly, we don't do that. Certainly not. Then the fear hit me the next day. What am I going to do? I found myself by Tuesday Taco Bell and I have become very good friends. And at lunch, I was able to go to Taco Bell by myself. And as I like to do, I'll sit in the car and I'll listen to music and eat my bean burrito, minus onions, extra cheese, sour cream. And I was eating my burrito, and all of a sudden I started crying. And I'm a guy that's cried with my family and that kind of a thing. But I've never, for the longest time, I can't recall just crying out of the blue. But I just started crying, almost weeping, for my children and my country. Then the anger hit. I'm angry now. I'm not only angry at the guys that have shoved this thing through and down our throats, I'm angry at those that are supposed to have our backs. The good guys, my guys. That after the fact stood up there and said, I'm not going to repeat what they say, but it's after the fact, after we got beat up, when they should have stood up 10 months ago, the first time it was introduced.
That's right.
And that kind of brings me back to the beginning. And that's where we're at. I'm tired of politicians and politics as usual. Politicians and politics as usual has gotten us static. I never expected to be here. It was never in my plan whatsoever to run for any political office. Certainly not the United States Senate. But I feel called to a fight. I feel called to a fight. God didn't tell me whether or not I was going to win. I would have liked that part. But I feel called to a fight. If it's His plan, if it means that I just get to mention to you and tell you the facts of what's in there, that it piques your interest enough to go online and read it for yourself and to investigate it for yourself, then I'm cool with that. Because we are no longer a free people. And we're going to talk about all different kinds of things here today. We'll talk about energy or immigration, jobs, all that kind of stuff. And I want you to bring the questions. But it don't mean a thing. There's a song, don't mean a thing. We ain't got that swing. It don't mean a thing if we ain't free. We must get rid of that. We must rip that out any way, shape, or form that we can. Because we can't find ourselves with the last two stages of the grieving process, bargaining and acceptance. We can't, there's no room for bargaining. There's no room for bargaining, no more. We've already bargained. We bargained ourselves right out of freedom.
Against the will of the people. Yeah.
Amen. And we must not accept this. I know it's a beautiful evening. We spoke that following Monday after this went through. We spoke at an event, and I was quiet on the way home, and the group was kind of concerned. And I told them the next day, I found myself in the van thinking, well, how bad can it be? I actually started thinking about my business. Well, that's one less problem. I don't have to pay for that health care. I mean, I just, and I'm the guy that's all worked up about it. I actually, they got me on video where I actually threw a little tirade at a group about how bad this is. And I was actually thinking, how bad can it be? We must not do that, friends. We must not. If you want to be a free people, if you want your children to be free, if you want your grandchildren to be free. And that's why I'm here this evening. I'm asking for you to send me into the fight.